Hello and welcome to an episode that I really don't want to talk about. Birdie Wing. And I don't mean that in a bad, I don't mean it like I'm dropping it. I'm talking about what the hell just transpired in Birdie Wing. Episode 8 of Birdie Wing, it's like this entire no, I'm back. Let me back up. Every episode of Birdie Wing has its ups and downs. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. Like, we got from a happy episode to sad episode. It went from light to dark. And I'm going loud here because episode 8 hit me to an all-time low. It was the dark episode. It was one of the darkest sports animes right now. And I ain't talking about I'm not saying dark like Berserk dark, like how heavy Berserk is. I'm talking about what is going on in this. And I can't take a break for having one decent episode of Birdie because there's always a cliffhanger. There's always a catch involved. And when you're dealing with golf, and when you're dealing with underworld golf, and when you're dealing with the mafia, you're kind of chained up to it. And this episode, I was happy. All the emotions were in this. Happy, sad, anger. So many emotions in this episode that I can't even understand why Birdie Wing is under the radar as an underwatched show. Every time anime trends or anything bad, anything, Birdie Wing is not even on a top 10. It's not even on the top 10 anime of the spring. And even Aoi is not even on the top 10 of best girls in the spring. They're not even up there. Now, I get it. Spy X Family is up there. There's no question about it. I am not taking that away from Spy X Family. And I get Komi Can't Communicate, Season 2. I understand Rising Shield Hero, Season 2. I understand a couple of cuckoos, something like that. And Love After World Domination or the Demon Lord thing. I understand that. But for a show like Birdie Wing, and it's under the radar, given it the fact it's a 6.7 rating because it's a female sports anime, please, guys, when you're going to act up and understand that the rise of female sports animes is getting there bit by bit by bit. Sorry it's taking so long to get to that review, but you guys know what I mean. But episode 8 did give us something to watch and somewhat of a backstory to get into. So without further ado, let's get right to it. The Birdie Wing episode 8. Okay. What do you expect me to say after watching this? Rose. There's something I want to do. And I'm going to do this. Rose, I am impressed. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Rose, again, the ending kind of gave it a 2. But I'm going to put the ending with the beginning. So, we saw Leo training Rose. And Rose became the best golf player of all. Then she decided, that was the ending clip. And then you get to the beginning, where she lost a match. And as a result of that, they had to cut off her arm and then Leo rescued her. And in that moment, Leo's like, see, I trained you to be a good golfer, but not like this. All the talent I gave you, and you chose underworld golfing, and this is what you get. That's called karma. So he's like, you're full of a woman. I'm training someone else. And then in that moment when her arm break, and then he jumped to the present. And then when they showed her arm being tied up, she ain't giving up. Rose, even at a handicap, even with a broken arm, she could still fight. It's kind of like Edward Elric, Fullmetal Alchemist. Without her arms, Edward will kick ass. Here's the thing about anime. We just got to realize something. Any character with a disability, without a leg, without an arm, without an eye, they can still kick ass. And what Rose did, tied up her arm, she swung it with one arm, hit it with the Crimson Bullet, and she hit that shot. Now, here's where people should like Rose even more. You see, Rose wants a good match with Eve. Not going easy on her, but have a good match to a point where she's like, I don't want you to be in the situation that I'm in. So if you want out of this whole mafia, show me what you got. Break my heart. Break the flames that I have. Try to break the shatterness and take me down. That's all I want you to do. And then we got a flashback with Rose talking to Eve when Eve was little at the time. And she's practicing her golf shots. When Eve hit that ball with her blue bullet at a young age, it literally broke a brick wall. It's, it's a joke, guys. You don't think she could destroy a Titan wall with that? Can she destroy a castle with that? I mean, with that blue bullet, breaks. But another story. That's another story. That's another thing in another way. So Rose at a handicap one arm. Sorry, let me tie this up. With just one arm, swung that thing and hit it off the park. And then Eve did it. And in that moment when Rose said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna end this is my last shot because I'm gonna win this for sure." And in that last shot, the ball. I'm gonna use this as a little golf post. Sorry about that. Yep. So the ball's coming in, and as soon as it get in, it came to the cinch. It rolled into the side of it, and I'm like, wow. And then Eve's turn. She knows she has it, and then she hits the ball, and then she won. Now, here's the thing. They didn't show how she won. You had to get to the end of the verse to see that. But how it happened was when Eve shot the ball, when Eve hit the golf ball was so good that it bounces off of Rose's golf ball, hit the golf post, and then landed on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, she played it. Now, here's the thing, though. We all know Eve was going to win. I'm not saying people doubted it, like, oh, there's no way she's gonna win. Come on. This is a birdie win. They're not gonna let Eve lose. I get that. It was pretty obvious. But this match was really intense. They were giving it all. And that's the thing about sports animes. It's the intensity of the match. That even though that he or she was gonna win, it's not about he or she was gonna win. It's the moments and the matches that says, oh my freaking God, that was a match. Despite, Eve was going to win. It was obvious. But the way how it was well thought out was really good. Now, as Eve won, and she and her family, Eve and Vipere, went off their ways with the money they earned. And with the money they earned, they got a bar. They got IDs now. They're a whole family now. The kids, the orphans, they go to school, and Lily and others got jobs. So it's really nice that they have their life together now. It's no more mafia shit, all that stuff. We have our own life. We're not held down by the mafia. We are good. But I didn't expect Rose's little sister to pull out a knife on Eve. That's one thing I didn't know. I'm sorry I laughed. But again, I'm not laughing because I did not see that coming. I'm like, whoa. I didn't see that coming. It just happened right there. I was like, oh my God. I didn't see that coming. I didn't. And then she said the hitman is coming after Rose and then Eve because the mafia bitch, the one that fainted, she fainted, and because she lost, this bitch can't take the loss. She can't take the L that she hired hitman to come after Eve and Eve and Rose. So, but it didn't stop Eve from going to see Aoi. So, before she departs to Japan, it was a sad moment for Eve to say hi to her family. They've been going through so much. Playing these illegal gamblings just to pay off the bills and the rent they have at the old bar, even though the bar is being rebuilt. But still, it's for everything Eve has done for the family when they took her in, sorry, that was a moment. That was a good moment. And it's very hard to rewatch that, but it was a very touching. That was a very touching episode. Moment in that. Words can't describe how I felt, but I'm pretty sure when we watched that and the show us flashbacks of everything that is happening, it was there. So now Eve crying. Her goal is to play with Aoi. That's the only thing she wants to do. She's going to use the face Aoi. Rose ain't done. She's in the docks because she knew her time was up. She can't run. She can't hide. She was going to get caught eventually. Leo came and told her the difference between Rose and Eve. The difference is both styles, they both have the same style. The only difference is Rose in it for the money, the power. You know how they said money's the root of all evil? That's that. Eve, same thing with the place out in golf. The difference is she's there for the dreams. She's there for the competition. Doesn't matter about the money. She's there for the competition, the love of golf. That's what Eve is all about. That's what it's all about. So the crazy thing about this, I'm gonna do a little segment here on the bed. Let me turn this camera. Let me turn this over here a bit. When that car came by, then when Leo left, and then about what 10 seconds, the car came by, and then here come Hitman. The Hitman grabbed the gun. Rose had a cigarette, shot her in the head, and then boom. And in that moment, she looked up at the sky. It's like we're looking at it first person. She looked up at the sky and said, Eve, I wish you well. Not her words, but my words. But you get what I'm saying. She looked up there and saw the plane as Eve was on the plane just floating by. And a first person view nonetheless. That was, rest in peace, Rose. This is what happens when you with the mafia. Scarface, Casino, Goodfellas, A Bronx Tale. I can't think of other mafia movies. But what they have in common is this. When you work with the mafia and lose, you get beat up as a first warning. And then or if you mess up the second time, you get shot. And what they did in Rose's last minute, she's taking a cigarette and smoke, boom, shot up. And then in first person, we see Eve flying to Japan to face the Aoi. What kind of ending is that? That was a dark episode. Now, the Eve and Aoi, that moment was, I think, I know people are saying, I'm gonna say too. This moment was more like a last episode. Just by looking at it, like, you look at this like, this looks like a last episode. And we got a few episodes left. Yeah, I get it. It does. But again, the way how this triggered, the way how this hit me, and Rose, like, I know people hate Rose, but I can't hate her now because I get it. She gave up everything to be on the grounds and face for the money and all that stuff. But damn, the way how Rose went down like that, not even hesitating to run. She just sat down in the dark and get shot. Rose, you will be missed. Not as a professional golfer, but as a female person who shows that anybody could do a sport like this, even with one arm. That's the deal. And I loved it. So, overall, this was a good episode. And then when I said this again, from happy to sad and in dark, that's what it did. Oh, and by the way, I left this off right now. I kind of left this off. Vipere. Can I say about Vipere right now? Vipere is in her bikini looks hot. And the fact that she got a boat and the fact that she's away with a dude, in fact that she's away and got a boyfriend, I'm going to tell y'all this, Vipere friends, she's taken. She's already taken. I left that off. Why did I left that off? But anyway, she's taken, and we could all just like, oh. But don't worry. Well, she quit betting golf, and so she'll play golf. But she's done betting golf. But again, she's off on the seas with her on a boat with a boyfriend. So it's like happy ending for her. And to all Vipere fans, she's taken. Cut it. I know y'all may be mad right now, but again, she's taken. But again, happy. Again, see how I just went from happy? Vipere, happy moment. Sad for Eve to leave her family. And then dark to Rose death. So it's like, damn. But anyway, this was a good episode. I mean, Eve's and Rose match was intense. For 2 parts of the episode, it was really intense. And next week is going to be Eve going to Japan to see Aoi. Because again, we haven't seen Aoi in a long time. We haven't seen Aoi in a long time since, the AI thing. But, I mean, since the the VR thing. But, we're going to see Aoi's back on the field again. And pretty soon when she sees Eve or Eve sees Aoi, they're going to have a reunion somewhat today, going to play golf. And then with these other golf players that we have seen, these side characters are going to go up against Eve at some point. We'll see. I just hope that the Mafia doesn't come after Eve's family. I want to make that clear. I hope that the Mafia, the hitman, whatever, does not come after Eve family or fly to Japan to come after them. I really hope it doesn't get to that. Because if it does, we got to put this at the top 3 or top 5 female sports animes of all time. We got to do that. Doesn't matter if it's one season, just put it there. And then we need this show dubbed. We need to show English dub. I don't give a damn. We need this dubbed. But anyway, again, so much good moments in this one. Happy, sad, anger, all in one into one pack episode. So this was a great episode. So I look forward for next week's episode of the Birdie Wing Golf Girl story. And let's see Eve and Aoi, mostly Aoi, back again on the fields and playing golf one more time. So stay tuned for next week.